sure everybody looks right. Hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society. This is Season 2, Episode 13, The Coldest End. As always, Ravenloft, it is a horror campaign. As such, you might see some content that you don't normally encounter in many other games. Although I think we topped it in a game that I did yesterday because there were reanimated animal parts. I don't know that we've done that one yet, but there's still time. There's still time. So, as always, I'm aware of the cast line and veils. We have a safety system in place where they can notify me if something goes too far. So there might be a scene that suddenly stops midway through, and that's all right because the most important thing is comfort. I say as I expressly set out to inflict emotional trauma, but you can only do that effectively when everyone feels safe to be vulnerable, right? With that being said, before we dive into this completely, let us first meet you wonderful people. Tell us who you are and who you are playing. I'm actually going to do this in reverse order, starting down here at the bottom with Becca.
Oh, hello. I am Becca Scott, but here I am Tatiana, and I am low energy. I got it. I got the COVID, everybody. I got it. So I'm a little spacey.
Well, thank you for joining us despite being sick. I didn't want to just say that in case you were keeping it a secret. So of course, at any time, if you don't
Have
feel
you met
well,
me? There are no secrets.
It's true. But you know, if Becca has to step away because she's not feeling well, we'll all know why. But thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
DJ.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. Realizing that the mic is like very quiet. There we go. Hi. I'm DJ Knight. I play Desmond, human ranger lycanthrope. And it's a pleasure to be here with you. Our pronouns are he, him. You're awesome.
Excellent. Sage.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage or Pixel Circus everywhere on the internet. And tonight I am Valentine. Valentine is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
To keep everyone guessing, we're going to jump back to the front of the line here with Nora.
Oh, hello. I am Nora Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere at Norological. My pronouns are she, her, as is my character Nahara, who is a reborn fallen Azamar undead bardlock. Here for all your spooky Taroko deck foreshadowing and a perfectly polite English lady. Actually, sure. English is not correct because we don't have that in these lands.
There's not in England, but if there were, she would.
But the accent's there.
Right. Yeah. Still, it's practically perfect in every way.
In every way.
You know, she's had a lot of tries at it. That's why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Tanya?
I'm sure she was Mary Poppins at one point.
Probably. But, like, we'll see. Now, at some point, I've got to fit in Ravenloft Mary Poppins now. Ravenloft, not just Time Lord, but Mary Poppins Dark Lord.
You know where to find me.
Tanya?
Now I want Mary Poppins Dark Lord. I don't know what else to say.
True. We don't make the rules. We've willed it into being.
Full of sugar, make necromancy go down.
Go down.
In the most delightful way.
Okay.
Whenever we're not being goofy, I play Fen, your blood hunter, on occasion warlock, but who knows now because, well, Strahd is no more. Pronouns are she, her, and I don't know what's going to happen this week because my chickens are coming home to roost.
You know, it's once again, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, right?
Yep.
And last but certainly not least, Mark.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as did my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, cleric of the grave and worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists. I use the past tense because, sadly, Brother Uriah fell in combat with Strahd von Zarovich. So tonight, I'm playing the Archmage Firan Zalhonen, Uriah's uncle.
Excellent. As always, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to, and I just started saying it and I realized I don't know if I got our Idle Champions code or not, honestly, because time is an illusion. So if we didn't get it, we will get one. I apologize, but maybe I already did it. We're going to see if Past Dave came through for me or not. But as always, thank you to Die Hard Dice. You can still get our custom Dark Lords dice here, which, I got to turn on our thing because now you can see it. Our super cool. Oh, and then I got to hide it up, pull up there. You can see it now. Hey, oh, not now. Look at this. I'm doing this all in real time, y'all. Our Dark Lord's dice that you can get from dieharddice.com. Of course, they come apart. You can reconnect them with each other. They are super cool. You can also use code BDS to get 10% off any other of your great purchases at dieharddice.com. Warriors of Waterdeep. We have a code coming up in chat. And of course, you can keep an eye out in the game that you might see some familiar faces there on billboards and such. TeePublic Store is live. Hats, masks, cups, mugs, totes, pillows, anything you can think of. Shirts that you can rock your love for Black Dice Society or these individual characters is available in our TeePublic Store. Secret Lab chairs, as you well know, like riding around on the couch. Highly recommended. If you want one, you can use our affiliate link because we always appreciate you. Idle Champions, again, I will try and fix that if it's not already, and if not, we'll come up with something. And last but certainly not least, we have our art that if you type in !BDS art, you can get your museum quality print of our wonderful art from Adam Schubert. A percentage of each sale goes to world builders, helping end world hunger. And of course, we have a Patreon where you can join us at patreon.com/The Black Dice Society for exclusive access to behind the scene content, our after show, our podcasts, and all kinds of other delightful, surprising things. And with all of that being said, let me double check. Oh, and just one last thing. Last week, we were beset by the tech gods. We were all ready. We were in position. Everything was set up. And then the internet was like, what if you didn't? But it should be all good this week. So sorry about that. But now on with our show. When last we met, you all were still in Barovia, in the aftermath of the cataclysmic and costly battle with Strahd von Zarovich, in which the Count was defeated, hopefully permanently, but in the process of, with his literal dying breath, he reached out and struck down Brother Uriah Macabre. And as dawn broke over a free Barovia, Irina, Iskar, and the various people of the village of Barovia gathered to say a few words about Brother Uriah Macabre. And one by one, each of his friends stepped forward to say their piece about him as well. One thing you all knew is you'd been told by the Raven Queen if you called out to her, she would intervene, but there were some things that even she could not do in these lands, and as you all had reached out and begged her to restore Brother Uriah, instead of any overt supernatural intervention, instead of reaching out and putting the life back into him with her own hand, a map appeared on his chest, drawn in his own blood. And after this memorial, you found as you all began moving, the map began changing. It's clearly directing you somewhere. It led you out of Barovia, now with no miss to blockade it because it has no Dark Lord, into an unusual wood, and after some time you came upon a familiar tree, the lair of the Archmage Ferran Zalhonen. After some uncomfortable exchanges, up to and including confronting him about having been the one that sent the caller to kill a young Uriah in the first place, Zalhonen not only made good on his previous agreements and delivered you all the boons or artifacts or mystical implements you had requested from him in exchange for your help originally, he also offered to help you restore Brother Uriah through the use of the apparatus. The apparatus is a machine usually found in Lamortia that you all are at least loosely familiar with. When you had your vision of Valentine's resurrection some time ago, the almighty Godbrain in Blutzspur had constructed some cruel approximation of the device. But one thing everyone knows is the apparatus, by all intents and purposes, has the ability to both give and take away life and death. Despite Valentine's protests that maybe Uriah's better off where he is, and even worse, perhaps what you receive back will not be the man you lost, you all decided to set upon the course of action of resurrection. Ferran Zalhonen is either unable or at least unwilling to leave his own sanctum himself, so he manifested an extension of himself, a simulacrum as it were, in which he imbued a fraction of his power to go forth and travel with you. As a different door opened out of his sanctum, leading to the icy, frigid, hellish lands of Lamortia, as you stepped out of the tree, you were all confronted with a familiar sight. The Carnival. You all have been gone so long and been through so much in your trek through Barovia. Somewhere along the way, it had eluded all of your minds that the last time you saw the Carnival, it was parked in Lamortia, and apparently still is. Now, as you all stand in this frigid wilderness, the snow just deep enough to get your socks wet and chill your skin, the wind blowing always somehow just right down the nape of your neck, and around you the trees are filled with odd creatures, squirrels with large visible stitches across them, birds with mismatched wings, odd monkeys that chitter and stare at you from discolored eyes. You all stand on a hill overlooking the Carnival. You hear no music. You see no smoke. You hear no games. It is clearly snowy and frigid and quiet. What would you all like to do?
Well, this is somewhat unexpected.
Why are the animals all stitched up?
This isn't normal at all.
Ah, I see you're not terribly familiar with Lamortia.
No.
Well, I won't say it's natural, but it is usual for these parts.
Okay. Are these animals undead?
Or along the line of constructs. You're familiar with the flesh golem?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
An inordinate number of such creations find their origin in Lamortia. What isn't usual is the presence of correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not the carnival?
It is.
I see. Interesting.
You said not in operation?
This
Doesn't-
isn't normal. I actually look to Desmond and grab his arm, and I'm afraid something has happened.
With Isolde not having the pen, was
Yeah.
anyone interested in taking any sort of liberties with the carnival?
I don't know, but I just have a terrible feeling about all of this.
That makes
Question.
sense.
Who has our dearly departed Uriah?
How are you all transporting him?
He was in the carriage outside the tree door.
Hmm.
Did no one remember?
Oh, well, I mean, we can retrieve him easily enough.
Right, I'll just run right back. Can I use the same door?
You all did bring his body in to present to Ferran, and the people of Barovia did at least present as nice of a casket as they could. So he's by no means just in a duffel bag.
Easy to carry if he was.
Look, I can hold one end, but it's the sort of thing, if I carry the whole casket, I might
if-
drop it, and that would be very bad.
If you'll allow me, I think, yes, Tensor's floating disc is exactly tailor-made for this sort of situation.
You reach out a hand, and easily a shimmering amberish disc appears under the coffin, and it levitates just slightly off the ground. Again, the wood is by no means anything ostentatious. In some ways, it is very befitting Brother Uriah's nature, in that it is very sturdy and very well made. It is by no means just salvaged from bits and pieces of things, and yet it is by no means gaudy or ostentatious. And when you look inside, because of the calm repose spell that he is under, he just looks like he's sleeping. His skin is still soft to the touch. There's even a certain amount of suppleness in his body, but his chest is not moving. He is dead.
He looks so happy and unafraid like this.
Is that good berry juice all over his face?
That might be my fault.
We were all trying our best.
Well, in any case, allow me to alleviate you of the burden of my nephew's corpse. I shall bear him. The question is, I do know there is, shall we say, unfinished business at the carnival. And that includes me, since I have agreed to aid you.
Yes.
All of you give me perception checks.
Perception.
Advantage in.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
That
Same.
perfect. Both Finn and Desmond, it is almost like
21.
perfect. Well, most of you notice this, but with two nat 20s, you definitely sort of take all of this in. There are still people in the carnival, but they seem hunkered down. You are aware of a one or two people that are out actively walking around, but from this distance, they're very small against the snow. You're also aware of the fact that there is somebody very nearby watching you.
I would like to sense if it is a familiar watching that I recognize.
Give me insight, and you can give it with advantage, because this is Valentine's thing.
Yeah. That is 21 again.
Definitely someone you've met before.
Okay, but not like, for instance, the kind of creatures that previously followed us very regularly.
Oh, no. You don't feel like it is your guardians. Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised given where we are, but somebody's watching us.
Do we talk to them or just pretend we don't know this?
Suppose they have to show themselves first.
We should probably go down and face the music.
Fen, you're most familiar with the carnival of all of us. Is this something they're used to doing, traveling through here?
This is, even with traveling through, we normally don't stay in places this long because we've been gone a while. And the carnival always operates.
And here it doesn't. All right, well,
Apparently not.
You
I
all.
suppose we could go in.
Oh, no, sorry. Please continue.
That's all.
You all hear a very loud twig snap as someone has gotten a natural 1 on their stealth check. So it's like, shh, crunch, crunch, crunch through the
I
snow.
turn around with a mind sliver.
I turn around
you
with my
actively
sword
attack,
out.
or you're more prepared to do it?
Oh no, I attack. We're having a very difficult week. Now is not the
understand.
time to sneak up on us.
What's the save on your mind sliver?
An int save of 15.
You, Valentine, you reach out and you field a mind that you impose your will upon, and you feel it holds solid against you, but you do hear, wait. It's, are you specters? Ghosts? Here to
You're right.
torment me?
Do I recognize the voice?
You've heard it a very long time ago, but Tatiana, you recognize it immediately. That is Carador,
No!
the tiefling that you engaged in an entanglement with what seems like a lifetime ago. Practically was probably months, maybe, but sun up, sundown, you all have been many places and done many things since then. It feels like years.
I know that voice. Maybe I should handle this. Cardor, what are you doing here?
You all see from behind a tree, which again, you all knew exactly where he was. Even Nahara and Farran are all like, oh, there's a guy right over there. He very slowly peeks his head out from behind the tree. Now, recall, Farran was originally here with the Litwick market, the Fae that would follow the carnival, that over time you all found was actually part of a curse Zybilna had put on the place. After Zybilna's death, the Litwick market disappeared. Even as you are seeing the carnival now, it's not there, but he's here. He leans his head out, and he is still attractive, but he's very dirty and he's very gaunt. Like, it's clear things have not been well. His clothes are tattered and he's got some very heavy, ill-fitting clothes on. And there's thick rings under his eyes. Like, he clearly has not been sleeping. Tatiana? It is you! It is you! And he just comes like running out from behind the tree.
You don't look so good. What is happening?
And you see he casts prestidigitation, and his filthy robes do clean and sparkle a bit better, and his hair lifts and lays down properly. It does not completely rejuvenate him, but he does look more like the man you remember.
Why did you think we were here to haunt you?
This place is cursed.
Yes, of course it is.
Yes, of course it is. No, but I mean more than it used to be.
What does that mean?
It's just, I don't know what happened some time ago. It's this place. I don't know how. It's weeks. It's just everything stopped. The guests stopped. The games stopped. The warmth stopped. Isolde became terrible. And all of my kind fled back to the Feywild, but I stuck around in the hopes that maybe one day, And he reaches out and very slowly tries to take one of your hand, Tatiana.
I offer it.
Yeah.
One day you would hold someone's hand.
Among other things, yes. I knew I could have returned to the Feywild, but I've never met anyone like you anywhere else. I just thought it would be good to gaze upon you again before I left.
I'm missing something. You were waiting for me? I told you we were casual. Are you serious? Don't embarrass me in front of my friend.
I mean, like, whatever. I would just, I didn't get a ride back to the Feywild yet. Whatever. I just was in the trees. I'm a creature of the forest. Like, I didn't have like feelings or anything.
Okay, good, because like
I
that's
mean,
not
like, whatever.
cool.
Yeah, no,
We
that's
kind of
not-
had it. We talked about
no,
that.
That's not at all what this is. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope not. Like it wasn't that. I met other people. There was this woman.
Obviously.
She ended up being like a evil nature giant, and we had to fight her and kill her. Anyway, you can go.
Well,
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it awkward for you.
Well, but I mean, now you're here though. So like, if I leave now, isn't that
I
more
smack
weird
him
if
slightly in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
Duly noted.
Look, what we had, it was cool, okay? But like, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, you can't go home again or whatever. Great.
I mean, we didn't even like go out to dinner.
Well, but I just thought maybe like we could, you know what I mean? Like we could like actually talk or whatever.
Can
I
we
mean, like,
do
but, like,
this
whatever.
in the carnival?
Oh.
Also, why can't you go home again?
Oh, I can. I just didn't want to. I mean, yes, I didn't want to yet. I was like, like I had other stuff I was doing in the woods here waiting.
What sort of things? You don't look like, apologize for being so forward, but you don't look like you're in the best of circumstances.
I mean, I'm not just a pretty face. Like, I mean, I'm rugged, and he like points at Desmond. He's like, I can like survive in the wild or whatever if that's what you're into. Like,
Sure about that?
made it this far. I mean,
Well,
don't get me wrong. If you could find a way to get the kebabs going again, like, I mean, I would love a hot meal. All I've been eating is rabbits that have squirrel legs. Why do the rabbits here have squirrel legs, by the way?
We are
That's
not
a very
the people
good
to
question.
ask.
Didn't know that they were edible.
Also, Uriah, hey, look at you with the glow up, man. Like, I mean, I like the hair and everything. Like last time you were kind of like,
Stop.
Now,
Oh,
I mean,
stop
look at
it.
you. Like, no,
I'm
look at him. Like, he looks
I
so
smack him
I
in the
pull
back
my
of the head again.
sword. I pull my sword on him. I think you should stop talking right
That's
now.
not Uriah. You're making it worse. Look, now that I'm thinking about what we could be, I am thinking about it, but like, you just need to put your foot in your mouth for now.
Already have.
You see his tail unfolds from under his cloak, and he does just like very gently bite the tip of it. Just
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been a horrific entrance. Let's go to the carnival.
I linger for a minute.
Something
Farah.
something our friend just mentioned about Isolde becoming terrible.
Yeah, about that. Probably because I took Nepenthe.
Did she not?
Yes.
Well,
Valentine and Finn, and even
Yes.
Ferran, you three give me insight checks because you might have a particular insight into something that is happening that I don't know Desmond, Tatiana, or Nahara would necessarily have.
That's a nat 20 for a total of 25.
Hey.
17.
That is a 19 for a total of 27.
Ooh.
Valentine, you've pretty much put together by now that Nepenthe is the actual power.
Yes.
Isolde is a part of it, but Nepenthe is the power. But you're back now. Nepenthe's not saying anything, and Nepenthe's not doing anything. You heard when the caller was defeated, when the Raven Queen intervened, he said this would get Finn what she wanted, but it would bring no peace. And you also saw how the sword reacted after the caller was killed.
Has it like reacted in any way since? Has it been active at all since?
It's not vibrating. It's not shaking. It came to life during the fight with Von Zarovich. But now that you're theoretically in its domain, it should be doing something, but it's inert. Actually, with a natural 20, Valentine, it's not inert. You know it hears everything. It knows exactly what's going on. But it is not talking or shaking or glowing or any of that, the histrionics it usually engages in.
I'll start a telepathic message with Fen.
Sure.
It is a little strange that Nepenthe isn't screaming, right?
Yes, I figured she'd start talking the closer we got to the carnival.
I don't trust those that are quiet.
Nor do I, but we killed the caller, and Ferran is promised to free his souls.
I've promised to do my utmost to assist
You can't hear us.
Sure, you
Oh,
can't
sorry,
hear
yes.
That's a
Sorry,
mental
yeah,
conversation.
sorry.
Mhm.
Well, and if Ferran can't save his souls, then my life is probably forfeit the minute she sees me for taking it.
Right. Okay. Should we have some kind of plan in place to try and help you not die?
Oh, I'm going to use my dread form and run away.
The plan is to run. Excellent. Okay. I will
My plan, you didn't do anything to his souls. I'm the one in danger.
Guilt by association. I can't imagine that Isolde will be a fan.
True, but she won't be trying to take your head off.
I wouldn't be so certain. People have tried to take my head off for less.
All right.
In Valentine, still stacking with that 20, you very much remember she was absolutely about to kill Uriah. Just like, oh, you knew this dude? Got it. Cool. So, right.
Right. Okay, well, maybe we should set the sword down and run away from the sword.
I'm just going to talk to Ferran and see what his plan is and go from there.
While you all are having this mental exchange, you all hear, join the carnival here. Step right up. See the amazing soulless man. Step right up.
Still in operation.
Adding into that natural 20 that Desmond and Finn had before, one of the figures you see moving around is Tyndall the Barker. You met him the first time you came to the carnival, and on many of your trips, he was a fixture walking around as a carnival barker. But he's out kind of by himself, just walking. Because recall, the carnival is a series of tents, of course, and then there is a fairly large open expanse where Isolde's tent is off kind of by itself. So people would gather there in different, games and things out there. And he's just kind of out in the field. Not near the front gates. Remember, there was a specific way you came in. It was over by the Litwick Market. He's actually at the other side of the carnival. See the carnival here, amazing soulless man. Doesn't cast a reflection. Buy your tickets. Wandering around down there.
Is he looking up like that as he talks?
Yes, but I mean, he's carnival barking. You know what I mean? Like, it is like as loud as he can be, basically. Yeah.
I'll just approach him.
As you all make your way down and sort of cross the threshold of the tent line, you all see around you a thick wall of mist starts to form. And you don't hear the music that you heard in the mist around the carnival last time, but you do see the dancing lights just floating in silence all around you. Definitely having shut off access to Ferran's tree. Carnival here. Step right up. It's either amazing Alti that wear here. It's a quick talking rabbit. There's Amelia the vampire. Here most the half giant. Strongest man the gods ever made. Step right up. And as you all come down, he just turns and he like looks at you and he's like, oh, visitors to the carnival. You have to buy a ticket and step up the see the amazing soulless man.
Have you had any visitors?
I mean, the carnival is a marvel, far and wide. We travel from land to land. We might have hit a bit of a dry spell here in Lamortia. I think it might be good to, don't tell anybody, but it might be good to pick up stakes and head to greener pastures. I think we might have stayed out our welcome here, but but there's a great show for you, all of you. Ben, you've known this man for years.
Right, that's what I
Yeah.
was about to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, I'm no visitor.
He steps closer to you and he's like, you bear a very striking resemblance to a friend we once had here, but she's dead. I don't mean to make you feel like you're unwelcome here, but I feel like if our boss lady were to lay eyes on you, it might actually trouble her. The carnival's for everyone, but you might want to not come here, or you have the glasses or perhaps a scarf or something. It's uncanny how much you look like Finn.
I am Fen. I'm not dead.
Why would you think she's dead?
And how do you think she died?
You see, he kind of looks at all of you for a moment and he's like, yeah, all of you have faces that I recall. There was a group of strangers. Some of them were outlanders and some of them were from the mist like me that used to visit on occasion.
How long ago?
Well, it's been some years now. Some years, young lady.
How many years?
Oh, at least 5.
My good fellow, my nephew had a ward here.
Oh.
A young girl by the name of Hildy.
Ah, yeah. Hildy, yeah. Not so young anymore, you know.
One assumes 5 years older. Might we speak with her?
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose so. I don't think she's going to be out ranging this hour. She goes hunting for food for us every day. She's quite the impressive young lady. And he goes walking towards the tents, and he, again, adding into that 20 that you had before, both Desmond and Finn, you're aware most of these tents are occupied, but the people aren't coming out. Like, whatever they're hearing or things, they're not coming out to investigate or any such thing. And he leads them towards the tent that you all usually stayed in, the one that they'd arranged for you all. Hildy, got some company, yeah. Go away, I'm tired. But
Hildy.
You all hear a shuffling, and she pushes the curtain aside, and it's her. The girl you knew is now a young woman. She is tall. She is also very lean, but she doesn't look gaunt and sickly like the others, but she almost looks more like how she looked in Falconia, like she's getting just enough to eat to live. You can see her clothes are a mixture of all of you. She wears leathers like Desmond, but she has a necklace that is like a mix of what both Valentine and Nahara wear, and alternating jewels. She has black lipstick on like Finn, and has dyed her hair white like Tatiana and has a symbol of the Raven Queen, or of the Ezra rather, right over her heart. And she runs past all of you and hugs Faran.
Oh,
You're back. All of you came back. Oh, you're right. And Nahara. And she runs and hugs it like one. She runs to each one of you, even you, Valentine. You see, she stops for just a second and still just grabs you anyway. She's like, Valentine, I know, I'm sorry you don't like hugs, but
It's okay.
I didn't think I'd ever see you again. How would you?
I'm very sorry that you thought we wouldn't come back for you.
I just thought that you'd met your end somewhere out in the mist, and I would avenge you one day, but I didn't ever feel abandoned.
Why do you think we died, Hildy?
Why didn't you come back? Also, Uriah, I love your hair. Is this so beautiful?
I'm terribly sorry. Hildy, is it? Yes, I've certainly heard tale of you, but
Important point of clarification. I don't mean to interrupt, Faran, but we've established you all are carrying a casket. Presumably Desmond is helping Tatiana?
oh no, it's on a Tensor's floating disc.
Tensor's floating disc. Groovy. Sorry. Please continue, Faran. She's very much like, Uriah.
I don't think you should be the one to tell her. Hildy?
Yes,
Tell me what?
yes, perhaps you're right.
Hildy, first of all, your hair looks really nice.
Tatiana, I can do so many pull-ups now. You know, you should see how it is. Exactly. I'd like do the pull-ups because it was the one thing I could beat Ermos in. He's so strong, but he's so big. He's not good at the pull-ups.
Hildy, we have something we have to tell you.
What?
This isn't Uriah. It is his uncle. Uriah is in there. I point to the casket.
I am so very sorry, Hildy. I know how much you meant to him.
And in a way that's only going to complicate this more, he didn't leave for 5 years. We only left here what we thought was a few months ago.
We're not quite sure how this difference is occurring.
I just
And
want
this
you to know
is-
that he would have come back sooner.
Yes.
No, that can't be Uriah in the casket because you all wouldn't let anything happen to him. You know, Finn saved him all the time. And Nahara, I know you wouldn't have let anybody ever harm him. You guys are playing the prank on me. You think it's all
No.
Hildy.
I
She just...
tried. We all tried, and we're still trying.
We still
Which is
don't-
why he's with us right now. We have not given up on him, but couldn't lie to you, Hildy.
Hildy, you better than most know that is not always the end.
You all notice a number of emotions flash across her face. It's never really sadness. She doesn't cry. It's a very familiar look you saw in the eyes of most of the people of Falconia who've seen countless deaths. And she just sort of sets her jaw a little, like, did he die bravely? Did he die fighting?
He
Yes.
did.
Against a terrible foe.
And you see she does kind of put her hand on the symbol of Ezra, and she's like, well then, Ezra be praised, I suppose.
He saved many others in his sacrifice.
And we have not given up, which is partly why we're here.
Well, while you were gone, I helped keep an eye on things here, you know. It is not quite just a fun time that it used to be with all the games and things, but I helped make sure everyone would have enough to eat and that everyone would be safe. I take care of Ermos. He's older now.
What happened when we left, Hildy?
maybe we should go inside the tent, huh?
Of course.
When you push aside the tent, you see every single thing you all left in the carnival is here. Desmond's now empty alcohol jugs. All the toys you gave her are lined up in a row. A little boneless zombie, a headless horseman, a strange cat-like creature, all lined along the way. A little crown from where she was queen of the carnival. A very crudely made pull-up rack of essentially 3 logs that have been nailed together. And the bedding that they left for you all has kind of like been stacked up to make like one decent bed. And there's hand-drawn pictures of each of you that have gotten increasingly better over time. They start off almost stick figures and very crude. And you notice, even though they start getting better artistically, they look less and less like you as it's been longer since she's seen you. So, Entschuldigung, I use your things here. You know, we can pull out the bed so you have a place for you to sleep again. You know, that's okay. Also, Desmond, I apologize. I drank the rest of your alcohol. It is very cold here.
I understand. You want some more? And then Desmond just kind of reaches for the flash that he keeps on him.
She is a child.
She's not a child. She never has
That's-
been
Not
one.
anymore.
She's not a child. Not hunting to feed everyone here, having already drank the alcohol that we left behind in the first place. And it is cold. He just hands it to Hildy.
She takes it, and you see she does just take a swig of it. And you know it's strong stuff, and she doesn't hesitate. That's how good. Yeah. Thank you.
Take another one.
She does hit it, and she's like, I've missed you all so much.
We've missed you too.
It is very nice to meet you at long last, Hildy. I am Uriah's uncle, Ferran Zalhonen.
You see she comes towards you like she's going to extend her hand, and she just stops and grabs and hugs you too.
Oh.
She's like, that's if you were his family, that makes you my family too. Yes, welcome, Uncle Ferran. Hello. You see she goes over to her last Uriah picture, and she looks at it, and she like pulls out a charcoal pencil and starts lengthening the hair. And she's like, I will make this a Ferran picture now. I will do another Uriah picture when I see him again.
Hildy,
Yeah.
what about his salt?
I must be very careful because we are not supposed to speak of these things, you know. After you all left, she was very sad for a time. She would not come out of her tent. And Ermos ran everything around here and kept the carnival going, and it was good, especially with the Litwick market gone. We were able to relax a little bit longer, and then it just got colder. And the people, they stopped coming. And Isolde, she changed. I mean, she always was she's always the strong woman, but that's okay. I like the Falconia. I grew up with a strong woman. You must keep the law and the order. That's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. But it was a bit much. She became, it's just the smallest thing, you know. She would just become enraged. Ermos said you were the only thing that ever kept her calm, so I suppose when she thought she lost you, she told us you were dead. She told us you were dead. And we just assumed if you were dead and we hadn't seen the others that, you know, we know the world we live in. What happens in the mists. The stories of Barovia. But I don't know why we haven't moved. I don't know why we still sit here in the ice and the snow. Now, Isolde, she just stays in her tent. Sometimes I go and I leave a kill for her to make sure she's eating something, you know? And I see her pacing sometimes at night, but she doesn't know that I see her.
This is my fault.
No. Actually, I think everything is going to be good now because you're back. So she's going to see you and she'll be happy, like I'm happy. You know, you might want to lead with it. This is not Uriah. That's a very confusing thing, you know. But besides that, it's going to be okay now. Like, and then it will be fun again, and we will have the games, and we will have the guests, and everything will be back, and it'll be like it was before. Right?
I'm not sure about that, but I just wanted to say that I'm very sorry for the hardships that you'd faced.
If not for you all, I probably would have either been a zombie or on a stake somewhere by now. So I think every day is a blessing. And I got to have cake. And I got to play games. There are no games in Falconia. And Nahara, when she says there's no games in Falconia, you have a split-second glimpse of that green, thorny version of you standing there looking out at a city full of people, all with their white eyes standing in silence.
I am very glad that you've chosen to stay here, but I can't imagine what you have gone through. You're very resilient.
Now that we're back, you're right, Hildy. Things can be happy again. We will fix things. That's what we do. And Hildy, you were strong, and you were brave, and you kept people safe and fed. We're proud of you. Do you know that?
You see, she like swells in front of you and gets the biggest smile, and she goes, "Learned it from you all."
That's right. We protect people.
Important point of clarification, Tatiana. Would you have brought Carador along with you, or would you left him out on the outskirts?
So yeah, when we entered the tent, I was imagining he's kind of like lingering right behind us. And
Perfect.
I gave him a like, wait here. So I think he's just outside the tent.
Got it. You all here. Hey. Go on. You're fighting. You go on, Shoo. You're not welcome here no more. Rumbling from outside.
I step outside the tent. Hermos?
You know, I was here with Tatiana. Tatiana not here anymore, boy. It's a
Hermos!
You see very slowly. He is still mountainous, but his long dreads are gray. His beard is white. He still has that giant maul, but now he leans on it more like a walking stick. Like, even though 5 years are past, he visibly looks even older than that. And, am I playing tricks on an old man here? I saw a young blue woman like you once. Pretty thing. I never thought I'd see her like again. I didn't.
Hermos, it's me. Remember? And I put out my arm to arm wrestle him.
Well, I apologize. You think I'm an old fool here. That's right. The only person ever beat me in a fair match was Tatiana. I apologize in advance if I hurt your arm here. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. No, I rolled a 2, so it's an 8.
Tatiana, you start moving his arm over, and he goes, oh no, boom, and he's like, I still got it to do, almost the Avgine.
I wrap him in a bear hug.
Oh.
You win, friend.
Do any of the rest of you come out of the tent?
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
just
look
to make
who it
sure
is.
things are okay.
As you come, he does look at you all one by one, and he's like, Hildy, what's that swamp grog we was brewing up that should fed to me last night? Got me seeing things. And she's like, no, it's really is them. My Hildy's sliding around now. Like, it's them. It's them. It's not Uriah. That's not Uriah. It looks like Uriah. That's not Uriah. That's very confusing. But the rest of them, it really is them. And he goes, Ben, that's you, girl.
Yes, what happened to you?
I was fortunate enough to get old.
We've
I mean-
only been gone a few months.
I mean, all of you still look the same as the day you departed. I mean, I know black don't crack right. We got that going for us. And them two was dead to begin with. But Tatiana, she looks like she's just the same, like you stepped out my dreams.
It's because we...
It's only been 2 months. 3 months, maybe. It has not been long for us.
He sort of looks around and he's like, and he looks over at Hildy and he says something to Hildy. Do any of you speak giant?
Sure don't.
Negative.
But I can learn any language.
It's a corner case.
No.
Why, comprehend languages?
I specifically took. Yeah, I have comprehend languages and I have the observant feat. So if he's trying to hide it, I can also learn it.
Be quick on the draw here, Valentine. Did you understand what he's saying? To the rest of you, you never saw him do this, at least not with her before. He very much like, when she's like, you understand they're talking to each other, but you don't know what they're saying. Valentine, you understand he's saying, if this really is them, we got to get them out of here. You know what she'll do. But I mean, if she sees that Finn is back and that everything is okay, I think that she'll be happy, won't she? Of course she would. Why wouldn't she be happy? No, child. Happiness is not what she's going to feel.
I'll
this,
pop
Valentine.
in to
Mhm.
his head, and I'll just say, if you know what she's going to do to us, then maybe you could let me know, because I don't.
Valentine, I forgot you got the tricky thing with the head.
I do, and I don't believe that you want us to die.
No, Valentine, the last thing I want is to have you restored to us and then meet your end. Isolde, the Isolde you knew, the Isolde we knew. She's not that no more.
Do you know what changed her?
Grief, rage, betrayal. She believed that Finn stole Nepent from she and ran off into the mist, trapping us all here. It said something about she left like a note or something. She tried to keep it from me, but I smarter than it seems, I caught a glimpse of it, but she didn't believe it was real. And
If we could get Nepenthe back for her from whoever took it, do you think that would restore both her faith in us and also maybe this place?
Valentine, I need you to know I love Isolde like I birthed her. But mercy ain't she strong suit.
Noted.
And he starts saying out loud again. He kneels down very slowly to get eye level with you, Finn. And he's like, I know you say you only been gone a little amount of time. But he looks past you and sees Nepenthe. He's very familiar with this sword. What possessed you to steal that blade? And
Maybe we
why
should-
on earth would you come back?
Maybe we should have this conversation back in the tent before we get beheaded.
Seems a good idea.
You see Hildy is pulling it aside. It's like, and Ermos kind of ducks down and sort of crams himself in and sort of like sits down, and you see, all of you can see it's difficult for him. You haven't seen a lot of elderly people in the mist. Just the reality of this place is it doesn't really help old age. But he's moving slow. All of you give me either nature or insight,
Ooh, insight for me.
whichever's higher.
That is a 24.
24,
22.
22,
I'm
Well.
gonna.
27.
27, 19. Yes, man.
Now, I was saying I was going to do. You said nature?
Nature or insight, whichever's higher.
Well, I get an advantage on nature, and
Perfect.
I should have just not rolled anything.
Lots happening, Finn.
Yeah, Fen got an 8. She's a little freaked out.
That was a 27 from Ron. What was that from Nahara, by the way?
No, 27 for
from
me.
Nahara.
24.
24. And what was Valentine?
19.
18. Nahara. You have your own mystical connection and your own unique relationship with both magic and death. If you had to wager a guess, yeah, Ermos is a half giant, but if anything, that should make he lives longer, not shorter. If you had to guess, whatever is happening to the carnival, whatever is essentially killing the carnival, is killing him too. That's why 5 years have passed, and Hildy has grown up, but I mean, she was relatively new here. She just looks like 5 years have passed, but he looks probably like 25 have passed.
Yes, it does look like whatever consequences have come to this carnival is also affecting our friends here. Some more than others.
Resting. The implications are, well, the removal of Nepenthe and the very nature of this domain. Yes. Fen,
Yes.
what is your intention? Do you seek to make our presence known to Isolde?
Well, considering what we found, I was going to ask if you can still free her, and if not, then I'll return to Nepenthe and pay the price.
What I have in mind could theoretically give her a choice, but it's not going to be as easy as lifting some simple curse.
It never is.
In fact, I think you confronting her might be of paramount importance if we wish to even have a hope of freeing her.
What do I
I'm not
need
s-
to do?
I'm not saying it's going to be pleasant, but I do need her and Nepenthe in the same place.
Ron,
Well-
do you think,
I was just going to say, well, actually, no, finish your, please go ahead, Nahara.
do you think, Ferran, that should any of this be remedied, that it would also, the effects of time on others would also be reversed?
It's hard to say. It's possible. It's also possible that the damage has already been done. I doubt I can do anything about the actual passage of 5 chronological years, if that's what they've experienced, but perhaps the more, shall we say, advanced stages of this draining effect might be ameliorated.
I should hope so.
And you ain't answered my question. What was going through your head? Where have you been?
Saving her from the collar.
Oh, now that makes a lot more sense, no? From the thing she was saying. She took it from me. She stole it from me. You're not talking about the sword. You're talking about her vengeance.
Yeah.
Valentine. To build upon your previous natural 20. You're 100% sure Nepenthe hears all of this, and yet it's still not doing anything.
I'd like to try and speak to Nepenthe telepathically.
When you reach out to Nepenthe,
Yeah.
you have spoken to it before.
And it hurt.
It was a swirling mass of rage. This time, you're aware you've made a connection with it. But you don't feel rage. You feel a very sadistic satisfaction.
Are you just going to sit there and let us get killed for you?
Why wouldn't I? No matter what happens, I win.
Sure, you've done what you wanted to do. The collar is gone. But what happens to you from here is up to us. You do realize that, right?
Is it?
Yes, it is. I think the people of Blutsburg could make great use of you. Would you like to go there? We could take you. We literally carry you on our back.
You think I travel at your whim?
Well, I haven't seen you get up and walk away.
Look around you, Valentine. The borders are closed.
I don't care about the carnival. I don't care about the mists, to be honest. I care about very little, but I am quite spiteful. So what I'm saying is, I don't want to put that on you. And it does seem as easy as picking you up and taking you wherever we want, because it's been that easy up to this point.
You've yet to take me where you want. You've only taken me where I wanted to go.
Oh, how awfully convenient.
Would you like to know what it is that I'm doing? I know you're smart. I know you think you understand how everyone ticks. You tell me what I want, Valentine Astoria.
So you agree? You think I'm smart?
Would be a fool to deny it. Unfortunately, you cannot offer me what it is that I seek. They can.
Who's they?
You will have the strongest possible champion. He can bring order everywhere.
She's standing right there and she has better weapons. Go on.
Perhaps it is Finn. Perhaps it is Isolde. Perhaps it is Tatiana or Desmond. I don't care. Someone will wield me, and justice will be done. Win. No
I thought you
matter
got
what.
your justice.
Oh, there are so many more deserving retribution. You, of all people, know to be true.
I do. I think many people deserve horrific fates of what I consider to be justice, but I am smart enough to travel with the people that can help me get them and to not test them.
We have an accord. I too travel with them, but it is only by testing them that we can know for certain.
We could pick you up and throw you into a lake.
You.
If Fen wouldn't be upset, I'd show you. For her sake and my own safety from her, I will not. But you are trapped in an inanimate object, and you're not even the first person we've dealt with trapped in a sword.
Choose your words carefully here, or I may well be your last.
Good. I'm bored.
Go see Soul. And you do see the faintest light from the sword, and then it goes away again. All of you notice in this room, the sword just glows for a moment because you have no idea that Valentine was talking to it, and then it stops.
That's very odd. It's been dormant up to this point. I wonder what provoked it in that way.
I did.
I see. And
Kaga.
have you
Yes.
gleaned any insight into Nepenthe's motives?
It's petty and angry, and it cackles like a villain.
Because it is a villain.
It's a
Yes.
sword.
But let's not forget Veronica. No offense, Desmond.
Who is no longer a sword.
For all we
Yes.
know,
she-
I have a
She's on our
sentient
side.
sword. Maybe they can be friends.
When the moment you say that, you just feel from the Sunblade. No. Like the Sunblade's like, I don't want that. Like it just, again, the Sunblade communicates in emotions, not feelings, but you very much feel.
I'm kidding. No. I'm just making
wait a
point.
minute.
Hmm?
Could
And-
the Sunblade against Nepenthe do anything?
Oh. I don't know.
I will say
You're
one.
thinking about crossing swords?
I will say
Not
one
like that.
last thing, Valentine. As Escanor pokes his head in the tent. Oh.
No, get out.
Valentine, I will add one last thing. Now, you've dealt with Nepenthe multiple times.
Yes.
If there's two things you understand quite clearly in this world, Valentine, people, evil,
hmm
and that sword is evil.
Of course it's evil. Yes. Look,
Irredeemably, irretrievably.
your very angry sword wants revenge. It doesn't want to say who. It mostly wants to cackle and try and throw insults. Meanwhile, I'm of the opinion it could just be thrown into a lake.
I don't think that would work, Valentine.
I don't. What's it going to do? Sprout legs and walk back out?
Well, if it's evil, maybe we should destroy it. But then again, wasn't its power when filtered?
I
through
message
resolve?
Tatiana really quickly and I go, it can hear you.
Just because you're able to taunt something does not mean that it's not powerless against you.
Indeed, especially, if I may, here, where we are now. You asked what it could do? Here in the Carnival, it could theoretically do anything. And I mean anything.
Then why hasn't it?
Obviously, it doesn't wish to. That's what disturbs me. Aside from that brief glow, the rest of us have seen no activity from it at all, which is highly unusual. What did it say to you, Valentine?
I'm gonna if you'll allow, I'll open up essentially a mental group chat where I'm kind of pinging back and forth between people for the hopes of this thing not hearing, even though likely it can. Fully with that understanding, I'll go, it expects a powerful fighter to wield it, and that to be the way it seeks its revenge.
I see.
But its need for revenge kept this carnival alive. Without it, it suffered.
More accurately, it doesn't want revenge, it wants retribution, which is not exactly the same thing. Nepenthe wants to punish the guilty indiscriminately.
But we're not guilty.
Everyone is guilty of something.
Sharon, let's not split hairs.
All I'm saying is that sword is very interested in splitting hairs and heads, and it's willing to use any justification to do so. Even the most stainless innocent could be described as being guilty of something in its eyes. We have to tread very, very carefully here. Valentine, what was it specifically that this thing said? You said it wanted a champion.
Yes. It said the most powerful champion will wield it. And it said it could be any one of you. Well, specifically 3 of you.
Yes, I would assume those with some proficiency with a blade. Huh.
Valentine, are you including Eremos and or Hildy in this?
No, I'm not.
Sorry, please continue, Faran.
I think the thing needs to be destroyed.
Yes.
I recognize that there are many evil things in Ravenloft, and I do not separate myself from them, but this one's pretty far gone.
Well, for something so evil and so hell-bent on retribution, I don't think throwing it in a lake is going to solve anything.
Finn,
Yes.
you hear Rose's voice in your head. I told you this was not going to work, that you were going to do all of this stuff and she wouldn't be happy and she wouldn't thank you. I told you this was going to, I mean, you can't say that I didn't tell you. I warned you. All of this could have been avoided.
Here?
I'm here because you're here. I'm
That's
here because
not
I
how
will
this works.
always be with you. Oh, yes. No, I just want you to know. No, continue doing this thing. I just want you to know you lost the woman you love for absolutely nothing because I'm
Get out of
still
my
here
head.
with you.
No, you're not. Get out of my head.
And give me a wisdom save.
Oh boy.
Lucky Desmond. Wish I still had hands. Tatiana too. What?
How about you don't?
It's too bad
That'll
that
be a
you-
23.
That's not the caller. That's Nepenthe.
Oh, I'm sure.
It doesn't stop her from talking to you. But you're aware. You're like, wait a second.
I actually pulled the scabbard.
Mhm.
Nahara,
Ooh, here we go.
Yes,
can you pull the sunblade for me?
absolutely.
Oh, Strahd hated that thing.
Stop talking, Nepenthe.
I mean, excuse me. My name is, I identify as Rose. Thank you very much. I mean, I had a lot of names, I suppose. But I mean, that was the one.
I don't
that
care
and
who you are. Stop
Okay.
talking.
That seems unnecessary. You already cut my head off, and now you don't even want me to talk to you. Okay, fine, whatever.
No, I don't want. Well, I know you're not Rose. Stop talking.
I mean, not Rose. Who are any of us if not a collection of our memories? And she does continue rambling and antagonize. She doesn't stop talking.
Okay, the more she antagonizes me, I'm just like, all right, cool.
Mhm.
I hold Nepenthe up to the sunblade.
Do you take it out of the sheath?
If I see nothing happens while it's still in the scabbard, yes.
Okay.
I would urge caution here. The Sunblade is a powerful, powerful weapon, but it's not an artifact of the same power as Nepenthe.
You're probably right. But I'm sorry, I only saw or heard one part of that conversation. Because I'm assuming no one can, if Nepenthe is in her head and nobody else could. So, did Nepenthe have any thoughts?
Nepenthe is pretending to be Rose in my head.
Oh, how fun.
I'm not pretending. Like, why would I do that? Obviously. I mean, I never lied to you, Finn. Everything I said to you was 100% true. You just didn't want to hear it. Actually, I didn't talk to you too much. I was avoiding you on purpose. But everybody else, I only ever told the truth. Ask them. Ask them. Ask them if I ever lied to them about anything.
I'm not asking them anything. Be quiet.
Oh, but you're still interacting with me. You can't ignore me. You can't ignore me, Finn. You can't ignore me. Also, wait, Finn, are you just jealous? Are you jealous that I got to Desmond before you did, Finn? Is that what you're mad about? Is that what you were so upset about? Because you were like, you really had it in for me. And it wasn't just about Isolde, was it? You know it wasn't. You know it wasn't.
So Nepenthe is a physical blade.
Yes, Nepenthe is literally a Holy Avenger longsword. Like, physically a Holy Avenger longsword.
As a physical sword, is it susceptible to being overheated?
I mean, it's always burning kind of hot on its own. To clarify, since this is important for the people playing at home, you have the Sunsword, which is a Sergei Ponzarevich's Sunblade. So Sunblade is generic. The Sunsword is a specific thing, just for the sake of clarification.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I was
right.
thinking
No.
of maybe trying to melt it.
Oh no, I get it. I'm just saying for the sake of us talking about this, making sure that we're yes.
Just a quick above game question.
Mhm.
Is Fen reacting out loud to any of this, or is this entirely internal, like the telepathic messages?
I'm making faces. I'm reacting, but I'm not. I may hear once or twice. I may say once or twice, "Get out of my head! Stop talking."
Mhm.
But when Rose starts taunting me about Desmond, I just kind of look at Desmond and look down at the sword and shake my head.
Hey, I'm just saying, there's still time for you. I mean, I can literally tell you what
Desmond
he likes.
is my brother.
I mean, that's weird. Yes, Valentine.
I should still have that little like stuffed pixie, essentially.
Yes.
Don't I? From the
Yes.
carnival?
Yes.
The one that silences things?
Yes.
I offer it to Fen to see if it'll quiet her head down a little bit.
I'll take it. Does it affect me though? Because Nepenthe is talking to me telepathically.
First of all, props to you for the deep cut. Unfortunately, Nepenthe is the Dark Lord here, so no, it's able to overcome it. But hey, shout out to you. That's like a 30 episode callback.
Can Nepenthe do like a ventriloquist voice throw into the little pixie?
Oh no, I would have to stab that thing. But I do say that no, Desmond is my brother. I do say that out loud.
Yeah, we know. You two are tight.
No.
Is that another question?
Oh, now it's awkward.
Rose is
now it's
taunting
weird.
me.
Yeah, I know. See, now you
Rose
said
is
it out
taunting
loud.
me.
Now
Oh,
everybody knows.
shut up.
Oh, I'm sure whatever this is, it's a trick.
Oh, it's absolutely a trick. And I'm just going to tell them what Rose is taunting me with.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ferran, if you're going to do something, can we get a move on?
Of course, as I say, getting you and your friend and Isolde in the same place is probably going to be necessary.
I
You all
slip out
stay
for
here.
quick convo with Carador before everyone moves out.
Perfect. Just before we resolve that, Tatiana, Nahara, even as you grip the hilt of the Sunblade, when they're like, "Can the Sunblade destroy this?" You very much get like, yeah, let's see. You very much get like F around and find out vibes. You know what I mean? Like the Sun Sword is like, can I? I don't know. Like you just feel like, you know, while you're holding the hilt.
I'm a bit surprised.
Because again, it communicates emotions, not words. Just you basically, it's just all vibes from the Sun Sword.
Good to know.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, please.
Does Nepenthe react to the Sun Sword being out of its sheath?
Well, one, do you turn on the Sun Sword?
I absolutely do.
When you turn it on, you see the light goes out, and you see both Hildy and Ermos kind of like have to cover their eyes from it. But
Oh, sorry, I should have warned you.
Yeah, because it does start emitting pure daylight. You notice it's daytime at the carnival, but it is gloomy and gray and overcast, and it is almost like the light and the shadows are fighting. When you drew Nepenthe in Barovia, like reality violently reacted to the presence of Nepenthe. It's not that bad, but it is like the light coming off the Sunsword actively, the carnival almost doesn't want to let it be emitted.
Theron, you are ready.
Yes, Uriah had these. I just thought I am his next of kin, after all.
Wait, did you go through his pockets? We can talk about that later.
I had to prepare the body. We'll talk later.
Tatiana,
Honestly.
when you poke your head outside, your tiefling friend is very much out there. You see, Parador is trying to hashtag act natural, like he's not listening. Like,
Tatiana's doing a like cool walkout, acting supernatural too.
oh, hey,
So, you waited for me for 5 years?
I mean, I was like doing other stuff, like
Like what?
being in the forest, tiefling stuff. You wouldn't understand. I'm
Looks
part.
like you were
I'm part
almost starving
fiend.
to death.
Let's just say I haven't had a taste of what I wanted in some time.
Okay. Wow. Because it's like last time we met, you read my fortune. I didn't know it was.
Well, I didn't know it was like that either. And then you left, and I was like, whatever, that's a thing. But I just kind of couldn't get you out of my mind after that. And every time I laid the cards out, they all pointed back to you.
No, I get that. I am absolutely incredible and so strong and like super fit. So I get
Clearly.
it. I get it. I'm sorry. That's beside the point. The point is, I got like my party, and we kind of have a unit. Can't really like bring new people into that. It's not an
right.
option.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, like, but maybe we could just like get together sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Regularly.
No.
Frequently.
Maybe.
What? I mean, yeah, like what? I mean, like I'm busy too, but whenever, just whenever.
All
Literally
I'm saying
whenever.
is that next time the mists open, if you've got family in the Feywilds, you should probably go to the Feywilds.
Tatiana, you live in the moment. I'm not even going to make you roll for this. You realize there's something he's not saying. He's not lying. Everything he said to you has been true. But there's something else there's something he's not telling you.
What else do you know about what happened here?
It's not that. I'm supposed to bring you somewhere.
Excuse me? Like to meet your family? I don't do moms.
No, that's like, I don't do that. I don't do families. I don't want to be tied down. I mean, except like, I don't want to be tied down, but, no, I'm supposed to,
Take me where?
and he rummages in his bag and he pulls out a black rose this big and just holds a hand out to you. Does this mean anything to you?
Where did you get that?
When the market was closing up, a guy, just a weird guy, came.
What kind of guy?
I don't know. I mean, he was like pale, but I mean, he was like just a dude. You know what I mean? Just like a pale dude. Like, like how Uriah was just like a pale dude. I mean, he was like more pale. He's like Valentine pale. Now that you mention it. But he was like, Tatiana, and I was like, whatever. I know lots of people, and he read my fortune, and he told me some things that were going to happen. And one of the things that was going to happen is I would get to see you again, and I was supposed to give you this, and I was supposed to at least offer to take you somewhere.
How would you take me somewhere if you don't know where it is?
Oh, this is a mist token. It's I know where it goes. It goes to a place called Sithicus. Tatiana, you've seen Sithicus before. Soth showed you Sithicus.
I thought I washed him away from me when I stepped into the lake with the unicorn. What does he still want with me?
Washed a lake with a unicorn?
Me and my friends, we had an adventure.
Life. Yeah. I don't know if this is like good or bad. I mean, black roses, the symbolism is questionable, but I just need you to know I stayed for you. I was just told that when I saw you, I had to give you that. And so now I have.
Okay. Well, one thing I have to tell you. I'm a sucker for roses, and I'd smooch him.
Meanwhile, back inside the camp. It's a good call back there. Meanwhile, back inside the camp, when you ignite the sunblade, except for this like fighting with the light, the pen doesn't react at all.
Well, damn.
Do I sense any emotions from the Sunblade?
It also is like, oh, like.
Well, this could have gone much worse.
Your blade is a powerful artifact, but almost painfully specific in its purpose. Its purpose was to destroy von Zarovich, and thanks to you, it fulfilled it. Nepenthe has a much, shall we say, wider net. Everyone could fall to its blade, and it still wouldn't be enough.
That does make sense.
Ooh, you scared, Finn? You scared? I bet you scared. I mean, you were just like the world ender when you're fighting me. I mean, you needed like a god to help you. Like, you couldn't just like take me fair. Like, whatever, that's cool. I mean, like, you got like a god that isn't even a god from here to come and intervene. Whatever. I'm just saying, I was about to roll all of y'all
Desmond.
Yeah.
Can you do me
What's
a
up?
favor?
What do you need?
And this is a weird favor. Can you knock me out?
What?
So I don't have to hear this sword.
That might not be necessary. I might be able to help.
That could be useful. I don't want to have to try to knock out Finn.
You know, you should draw the sword and give it to Desmond. Give it to Desmond. I want to feel his hands around me at least one more time. Give it to him. Come on, do it. Give it to him. Give it to him.
If I give it to him, it's not going to be because of you.
I mean, I gave it to him and it wasn't because of you. Ah, what?
Fran, do something, or Desmond, you do something, one or the other.
Very well.
Run, please. I don't want to have to hit her.
How can I high five when I don't have hands anymore, man? Jeez.
Hitting me is preferable to what I'm getting in my head right now. You have no idea.
Firan Zalhonen will, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but here goes. Casts Mind Blank on Finn.
Finn, you still have to give me the save because it is not something that you cannot consciously consent to. Oh, wait, no, actually it is. No, I apologize. It is. Mind Blank is a buff, right? Yeah.
And yes, and he will explain to Finn what's happening. So yes, this should shield your mind from any unwanted contact. No one will be able to read your thoughts. So you will also be quite well protected from psychic damage. In fact, immune to it. I use it myself quite a bit.
Hold on, give me just 1 second here. Let me read.
Noted, Fran.
I've used Mind Blank many a time, but not to keep intrusive Dark Lords out. Hang on, let me see here. The moment he does it, you hear, right as he's raising his hand to cast the spell, you hear her say, "Not gonna matter. It's not gonna stop. You're not gonna get away. I'm telling you, it's too late. You should just give the sword to
Yeah. Is that better?
Muted.
You are muted. It worked too well, Faran.
Oh no! Wait! Here, let me take back. I'm going to take back some of it, and there we go. Yes,
Oh, I thought you meant I was muted.
You were. Yeah.
Yeah.
you were.
Mm-hmm. You're not
Oh,
now.
I
You
shouldn't
were.
be.
You are
Okay.
not now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
That should help. Did it?
I don't hear it. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you.
That should work for about 8 hours. Hopefully, we'll
Okay.
have dealt with the problem by then.
Oh, that's so much better.
Goodness,
Nahar.
that must have been exhausting. Yes?
Well, yes.
You feel like the Sunblade wants to cross swords. Like it very much feels like, let me at it.
So now that you can't hear that voice anymore, could we just try to see what happens?
Sure.
Are you going to
I'll
draw?
draw-
Are you going to draw on a pen?
Yep.
When you draw the sword, it crackles to life, with red light emanating from it, so bright you all cast shadows on the walls of the tent. And
I'm just gonna, as a safety form of dread.
I was about to say the sun sword goes out when the
Oh.
red light hits it, and you all outside start to hear as the music of the carnival starts up again, and you hear Hildy, or you see Hildy and Ermos both start looking around, and at the far end of the carnival you hear, what who started the music? As you hear Isolde
No.
yelling. Overhead, you hear, and storm clouds start to roll in, and the tent starts shaking from the wind. And you see, Finn, despite the mind blank, your mouth starts moving. And you all hear Finn's voice say, "Oh, it's time to step outside." And that is a good place for us to take a little break. We're going to do a quick 10. Don't go nowheres. We're going to find out when
Whoops.
Finn and Isolde are reunited. Be right back. As you all hear the storm raging overhead and Isolde's voice yelling out across the carnival, what would you all like to do? You see Hildy runs over towards Hermos, and they both almost automatically start comforting each other. Like she's trying to help him, but he's trying to help her when they hear this. What are the rest of you doing?
Am I back to myself?
Yes, to be clear, Nepenthe did not take over your mind. He's just capable of speaking through you. He's capable of speaking whoever is wielding him. So it's almost, you could hear you talking, but you still were in control of your faculties, as it were.
I clapped a hand over my mouth and I'm kind of freaked out right now.
If we have a second to do something before too much happens, I'm just going to place a hand on Hildy and cast Greater Invisibility on her. And just like lean over and just be like, don't die for being associated with us. It's not worth it.
I mean, you know, if we're going to do the fighting, Valentine, of course I will fight with you. But I mean, I'm sure everything's going to be fine. When Isolde sees Finn and she gets her sword back, I'm sure it's going to be sehr good. But I promise, I'm looking. Can you tell that I'm looking at you? Because I'm looking at you.
I can't tell that you're looking at me.
I'm making meaningful eye contact with you, Valentine. I promise.
This is concentration up to 1 minute just for above game, and it does not end if she hits something because it's Greater Invisibility.
Perfect.
Get far away from us. Seem like you're coming from elsewhere.
Okay.
Do not let her know you came with us.
Good soldier follows orders. Yeah, okay. I'm going. Okay, I promise. Wait, Valentine. Don't die, like, again. Like, don't die additional. Okay, I'm leaving.
We'll all do our best.
And you do see footprints appear in the dirt. Oh, yes, Tatiana?
I would like to wild shape into a saber-toothed tiger and rage.
Actually, Tatiana, you were already outside because, you know, you were entangled with Escanor, so you can see.
We were outside? I think we might have gone inside.
Did you pull him inside? Okay, all right. Well, then
I think we found another tent.
Got it. Well, then belay seeing anything. Wild shape into a saber-toothed tiger. You see, he looks at you and he goes, oh.
It's not for you, I say, but he can understand me because now I am a beast.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Greater invisibility, wild shape. Anybody else doing anything?
I mean, I just popped up my form of dread, so that will stay up, but I will probably sheath that sunblade.
It went out. You were currently, holding because remember the it comes on and like illuminates. You're aware of the presence of it. Like it wasn't destroyed. Like it's as shocked as anybody. Like this doesn't happen to me. Like you sense embarrassment. You sense embarrassment from it, Nahara, that it's like.
Embarrassment's not a feeling Nahara is very familiar with. So this is new to me, but I will just gently tuck him away.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
As this all happens.
Baran?
I shall cast Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound.
Is Tinser's floating disc concentration? I mean, it doesn't matter. You can put the casket down, but is it concentration?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Just double check that.
He like rolls out of it. Yeah.
No.
He just looks like he's sleeping on the floor like old times.
It's pretty intimidating to roll in, drop a casket on the ground, and let your dead friend roll out of it. It's a hell of a way to start a fight.
Exactly. You're like, we're not scared of you. Right.
It is not concentration. It just lasts for an hour, so I can easily do this. And I don't believe Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound is concentration either.
Perfect. Excellent. So, what does your hound look like when it manifests?
It is a phantom. Those with true sight can see it. Otherwise, it's invisible. It looks like a Shih Tzu.
Perfect.
Or I think we established rather than create, he's got a variation of the spell that rather than creating a medium-sized dog, it creates two small ones.
Two small. It's true.
And a Brussels Griffin.
Sometimes they summon themselves. It's the strangest thing. They just manifest. You know,
very odd. So that is stationed just at the door of the tent.
Perfect. Desmond.
Desmond's just very confused.
The wind is definitely increasing. Like there's a chance you feel like the tent might even blow away. But Finn, you hear her, and your voice said, "Step outside."
Oh boy. I just start walking toward her and I'm like, let me handle this. Fraud,
Okay.
whatever you're gonna do, I need you to do it.
Very well. I'll follow your lead, and I think you'll need to take it.
You see a little tiger nose peek out of a tent as you're walking, but it waits for your lead too.
As you come out, there is now a raging snowstorm outside. Lightning is crackling and wind is blowing. The tents are whipping, and you can hear the voices of the people who still aren't coming outside, but starting to panic. Like people are clearly trying to batten things down, get their possessions before they blow away. And at the far side of the clearing, you can barely make out Isolde's outline. Despite these freezing temperatures, she's not wearing a coat or anything at all. She's pacing back and forth, but the sword in her hand is not Nepenthe, for obvious reasons. It is the matched blade to the one she gave to you, Finn. Her elven blade from her paladin days. Who started the music?
I just call out to her. I'm not dead.
Is this another one of your tricks?
Not a trick.
And she says in Elvish, tell me something that only Finn would know then.
I do her one better. I show her the tattoo that she gave me. You put this upon my skin.
Do the rest of you come out of the tent?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, Firan is going to basically stand between the two Mordenkainen's hounds.
You all see her head just tilts for a second. And she moves so fast, you don't actually see her move, but it cuts a swath through the snow, almost like a tunnel, of how quickly she lunges forward and puts the blade against your throat, Finn. And she's just there next to you. She's much taller than you. Remember, Isolde's almost 7 foot.
Yeah.
And she has the sword against you, and you can see now that you're close to her. Everybody else looks gaunt and haggard. She doesn't. She looks as beautiful as she ever did. She just looks angry. Her eyes are bloodshot with rage. The only reason I didn't separate your head from your body right now is I want an explanation. And you actually feel a little trickle of blood start on your neck, Finn, as how close the sword already got to you.
And I actually just tilt my head a little further. And can I look her in the eye like this?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to save you.
When you say that, Nepenthe glows even brighter, like casting long shadows of the two of you out across this field. Well, then how did that go?
Well, the caller's dead. But to us, it's only been a few months, but to you, it's been years. And how did you stand this for years and years upon years?
I stood it the way I stood the years previously. I clung to my hate.
Well, if you must hate someone, then hate me. I did it for love of you, but I knew the risk I took.
Then I will do one thing for the love of you as well. And she pushes you, Finn, where you slide back 6 feet. And she twirls the sword and says, I will give you a chance. You see, she very much is ready to fight.
Oh boy.
Finn, I'm gonna need you to roll initiative. Actually, everybody roll it. Just give it to me in chat. But right now, Finn, yours is the only one I actually need.
The dice hate me. 14.
Right. Finn, while actually I said just give it to me in chat, but for the sake of ease, do just go ahead and I'll give it to you. So Finn, what did you get?
14.
14. Desmond?
10.
Valentine?
11.
Uriah, Ferran Zalhonen. It hurts to erase Uriah from my initiative tracker here. Ferran.
15.
15. Nahara.
I also got a 14.
Tatiana.
4.
A lot's happening, Tatiana. A lot's happening.
I was busy.
Yeah, you were.
You all see, again, every time she moves, it is almost like, again, it would look like she was teleporting around. She's so fast. If you didn't see the trail through the snow to show that she does move through these spaces. But she moves back and tells you that she will give you a chance and then lunges forward. Having rolled a natural 20.
Well, it was nice knowing Finn.
Let me look up one other thing.
I mean, house rules do say a nat 20 is always a success.
That is true. I'm just seeing exactly what it is that she's going to do, because I got a few different things over here.
Probably kill me.
Yes. You see she lunges forward, and it is hard to track her, but you see that she actually moves past you, Finn, and specifically slashes at your back towards, another one of the tattoos she gave you, and slashes at you for 26 points of damage. You all see Finn's blood sprays across the snow, visibly. Even in the red light, it almost looks black from the red light of Nepenthe. And she says to you, because of you, Finn, I've lost everything. I lost my family. I'd already lost them. I've lost Nepenthe, and now I've even lost justice.
And I know. I knew the risk when I took the sword, but I wanted you to be free.
Ron, you have the opportunity to act before Finn, theoretically. Would you like to, or would you like to hold your action?
I actually will, but I'll need Fen to be willing for this to happen.
Oh, I'm willing. I would like to not die. So whatever
yes,
you're
you need
doing.
you need to be a willing creature. Firan casts Stone Skin on Fen, and Mordenkaden's Hound goes off on cue.
Perfect. What exactly does Stone Skin do?
So Fen will have resistance to all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Is you all see visibly in the light of Nepenthe, despite the snow and everything, this ragged wound across Finn's back now. Her skin starts to scale over and take on the form of rock. And you see Isolde turns and looks at you, Faran, and she just says, "I'll deal with you next, cleric."
We can explain later.
Finn, it is your turn.
I do not want to hurt Isolde, but I am actually afraid of what Eldritch Blast would do.
So, with weapons, I mean, if you choose to wield Nepenthe, you theoretically can do non-lethal damage. As written, there is no non-lethal damage for spells, but I feel like if you can non-lethal with an axe, you can non-lethal with an Eldritch Blast. Like,
Well, it's more
shoot
that
at her knees.
my patron's gone. It's not the damage.
Give me a charisma check. Just roll your charisma, man.
All right, I'm just gonna roll it. Now I get a good roll. I have a charisma of 13 and I rolled an 18.
When
Plus
you
1.
reach out to will the Eldritch Flames to leap to life, you don't feel anything. That tug you used to feel, that connection to Von Zarovich, there is nothing on the other line.
Great. Well, I guess I'm... Can I disarm Isolde?
You try.
All right, what would I roll for that?
You are... give me athletics.
1 or 2, since I have 2 attacks normally.
Theoretically the first one, and pending how it resolves, then the second one.
Okay. Dagnabbit, 16.
Right. You reach and you grab her hand, and she lets go of the sword and grabs it with the other one. And she's like, I taught you that move.
I don't want to hurt you.
It's far too late for that.
I don't want to kill you.
Don't worry. You won't. But you can feel free to try again to disarm her if you want.
Can I get out of it then?
What do you mean?
Can I try to get her to leave me alone? Is she still holding me, or am I holding her?
No. I mean, yeah, no. You were reaching for the weapon. Like she does not have you grappled.
All right, I'm gonna try one more time, and I may regret this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so much better. What am I adding to it?
Athletics, whatever your athletics bonus is.
Oh, that makes it a 23.
You got a 25.
Son of a bitch.
She did teach you this move, Finn. Again, when you're like, I got it. She's like, again, lets go of the blade. And you see she actually catches it with her foot and tosses it back up again. She goes, you clearly weren't paying attention. Anything else? Finn?
No, because actually she hurt me, didn't she?
Oh, she hit you for 26 points of damage.
I'm gonna hellish rebuke her.
Okay.
She has to make a dex saving throw of 13.
She unfortunately makes it, but it's still half damage with the hellish rebuke. So still roll it.
So it's 2d10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Soul, I didn't want it to come to this. 2d10.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 12. So 6 points of damage.
Okay. Excellent. Anything else? Technically, Hellish Rebuke was a reaction at the time, so you still have a bonus action if you have a relevant bonus action. You want to do Form of Dread or anything like that?
Then I'm just gonna Form of Dread because everything else is blood magic.
Did your Form of Dread come to you as a warlock ability?
No, I had that.
Okay,
I had that previous to warlock.
Perfect. Yes. As it activates and you grow in stature, she just like looks at you and she's like, I did always so like this version of you, but is wholly ignoring everybody else. Nahara, it's your turn. He's still here actively engaged with Finn. Actually, one other thing. Well, no, never mind. Yes, it is your turn, Nahara.
Okay. You see, or rather, you hear Nahara chant something it almost sounds like a very dissonant song. Mm-hmm. And then the spectral flames from her Form of Dread kind of point down to the ground. And from there, these flames dart and form a fire on in a circle on the ground. And from there, I summon a greater demon.
Ooh, what do you summon?
I summon a reduced threat Hezro because it has is the same challenge rating. Mm-hmm. It is not so I have to make I have to roll initiative for it. Mm-hmm. But It recognizes people in my party as not someone to attack, which is one of the reasons why I chose it.
Just for the sake of ease, we can say it can act right after you.
Okay.
However, a Hezro basically looks like a Gila monster from hell, just for the record. Just like if a anthropomorphic Gila monster from the abyss, essentially. Anything else from Nahara?
That will be it for my turn.
Perfect. But you can send in the Hezro if you like.
Yes. So I will command the Hezro to attack Isolde.
Okay. Go ahead and roll
And
it.
it gets, all right, let's see here. So it gets, makes 3 attacks.
Mhm.
And so the first one will be the bite.
Mhm.
And that is a dirty 20 to hit
That is enough.
once it clears the distance. And then it will be, sorry, let me get my dice together.
Mm-hmm.
Then 15 points of piercing damage for the first, for its bite. And then it will make 2 claw attacks.
Okay.
First one is a 14 to hit.
That is not enough.
Okay, but it'll try again
Mhm.
with its last one, and that is a 21 to hit.
That also is enough.
Okay, so that one is 16 points of slashing damage.
Perfect. This thing leaps across onto her, and she's trying to move and get out of the way from it, but it does bite and scratch at her. And Finn, the smell of her blood very much fills your nostrils being this close. But she doesn't yell, and she just kind of grunts as she moves backwards. She says, "Fine. I probably should have killed all of them the first time anyway." Anything else from Nahara?
How far am I from her?
We'll call it 50 feet.
Okay, I'm just gonna fly, just in case.
Right. When you fly upwards, she looks at you, and Finn, the pith flies out of your hand and stabs into the ground. And you all see snow and ice and wind begin to coalesce around it in the vague outline of a person with multiple arms. And one of them reaches down and picks up the sword and says, "The wizardling was right. Here, I am Lord." And it is going to run at Tatiana. What is your AC currently?
Oh, well,
Actu-
if you're going to ask that, it's 12.
Actually, I take that back. It does run at Tatiana, but it explodes in just a swirl of violence where it is actually going to attack each of you twice, going to attack Tatiana 3 times because you're the strongest. AC 12. Right? Accounting for your damage mitigation, Tatiana, give me an athletics check. Athletics or acrobatics, whichever's higher, but I think athletics you'll get advantage from your rage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take the advantage. That's a 30-20
Mhm.
on the first one.
Actually, that is
Okay.
enough. It attacks you for 20 points of damage, accounting for your
Resistance?
resistance.
Wait,
And
so...
that 20 it would have been 40. Yes.
Oh,
And Tatiana, you feel the snow and ice wrapping around you like it's trying to grab you, but you manage to escape out of it. Nahara, even though you are flying, it actually can still reach you. What is your AC currently? We can assume you all have your mage armor and whatnot up. You knew what this was.
One moment.
Thank you very much, because I used mine for invisibility. I used my early action for that.
Yep, no problem.
14.
It hits you for 26 points of slashing damage, Nahara. Again, not counting any mitigation. Basically, what you all see, it's like this multi-armed person. Each arm grabs Nepenthe and is essentially swinging and slashing around with the blade and rotating. It's just like a tornado of violence, basically.
It can reach 30. Its reach is 30 feet. Yikes. Okay, good to know.
It's like a storm of swords, basically. Desmond, what is your AC?
15. We've had a long rest before all this, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
cool.
You were at 100 coming into this. It slashes you for 26 points of damage.
Great.
Faranz Alhonen, AC.
AC is 19, but I do have shield, so it can be up to 24. As a react, if it hits,
you have at least one hit incoming. Would you like to put up your shield? Okay. You hear the blade just clanging against the electric arcane defense as it leaps in.
Question.
Yes.
When it was attacking everybody, is it teleporting to attack to us?
It's hard to honestly, it does actually seem like it's in one place and then it's actually somewhere else. Like it just explodes in a swirl of attacking. Yeah.
Perfect, because I would very much like to magic user's nemesis in response.
Oh yeah, what would you like to do?
When you see a creature casting a spell or teleporting within 60 feet of you, you can use a reaction to force a wisdom saving throw of a DC of 13.
Or what happens?
Its spell or teleport fails and is wasted.
Got a 15.
Tried it.
You did.
Oh.
You did.
It was 20, how much? 26?
26 total. Specifically, the teleport is when it went after Nahara. That is how it's able to reach. But yes, Faran.
B-Dave, just realized that, of course, when it, even though it didn't hit me, it meleeed me. So it becomes subject to attack by the Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound.
Correct. You can roll that attack. Valentine, what is your AC?
It is currently 14.
It actually rolled fairly poorly. You have one hit coming in, though. You're the only one it would have missed against, but you theoretically have a hit. Does Valentine have shield? I don't recall, actually.
I don't have shield, no.
Okay. Is any other mitigation? Because you will have one hit coming in.
Oh, wait, no, I do have shield.
Hey, would you
That's
like
awesome.
Would you like to
I
put
would
your
very
shield
much
up?
like to shield as a reaction, absolutely.
That will actually help you evade the second hit. Again, the sword went wide once and was coming, and your shield comes to life as well and blocks it. Yes, Faran.
B-Dave, so the Mordenkainen's Hound uses my spellcasting attack and the bonus, so that's a total 26.
More than enough.
Okay, so it will do, I think, 4d8. I want to say force damage. Oh no, it's actually piercing damage.
Wait, what was it? Sorry, against
48.
What was your attack? I saw.
26 total.
Okay, yes. There's nothing it can do to stop that.
Okay. So this will be 48 of piercing.
Okay. While you were giving me that, yes.
In its spinning whirl, would it have moved into and out of our area?
It would not have provoked you. No, unfortunately.
How? Okay.
Dark Lord stuff.
18 points piercing.
That's too many arms.
Indeed, it is a number of arms. Excellent. 18 piercing. Perfect. Valentine, it is your turn.
Okay, excellent. Where is it located now as it's like spinning around us?
You see it is basically in between you all and Finn and Isolde. You also notice it did not attack Isolde. It did attack Finn, but did not attack Isolde.
How close are any of my friends to it?
So Finn was 50 feet away. We'll say that it's 30 feet away. We'll say it's right in between. And then all the rest of you are all kind of together right now.
Excellent. Erupting Earth.
Yeah, Erupting Earth. You could get it by itself. Yep.
Yeah, I was just trying not to kill my friends. I make a habit of it.
You know,
that is a dex save of 15.
Thank you for your service, first of all. Let's just put that out there. Let's see. I rolled poorly again. The fates are smiling upon you. I did not make the save.
Excellent. I do love that for me. That's 60-12 of damage. That is 47 points of damage.
Perfect. Oh, hang on a second. I made a slight mistake here. Give me 1 second. I mixed up its hit points and Isolde's. Give me just hang on. I'm gonna get you to give me that number in a second again.
Okay. Because I'm gonna make it worse.
The faithful Mordenkainen's Hound was the only one that actually has attacked it so far, correct? If I recall. Oh, hang on. Mordenkainen's Hound was the only thing that has done damage to Nepenthe so far, correct?
No. To Nepenthe, sorry.
Yeah, just to Nepenthe. Yeah, Isolde got hurt, but not Nepenthe.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, groovy. Just making sure I keep their numbers separate here. I had the same calculator up. 1 second here. Do that.
Because I'm gonna do
Sorry,
it again.
I had to go deal with the real life Mordenkainen's
The real Mordenkainen's
The hounds.
Hound. The Hound. They were like, it's our time.
Release
It's
the
here.
hounds.
It's here. If not, let's slip. The Hounds of War. Yes. What was that damage again, Valentine?
That was
sir?
47 points of damage, and I am
47?
going to twin spell it. So roll it again.
Perfect. Get this all going here. Ooh, what was the save DC?
15 dex.
It does make it this time.
Okay, so that'll be halved.
Mhm.
That is 16 additional points of damage. And then I will use additional sorcery points to make my cantrip a bonus action, and I will fire off a firebolt.
Stack it up. Yep. Roll.
We're going for it. That is 25 to hit.
More than enough.
Excellent. I'm doing like a combination of when I have to roll multiple dice, it's digitals.
Mm-hmm.
That's an additional 17 points of damage.
Perfect. You do see whatever this swirling mass is, it is being affected by this. As you see the sword vibrate and shake, and then the flames erupt around it. You see the form kind of come apart a little bit and then reform again, kind of holding it in the air. Perfect.
Good.
Anything else from Valentine?
That is all for me.
When you think good, you hear Nepenthe's voice from nowhere in particular say, "Yes, good." Perfect. Desmond, it is your turn, and then it will be Tatiana's turn.
Yay. And the weird thing is still attacking everybody, yeah?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
I mean, well, as of now, Isolde is actively engaged with Finn and only seems concerned with Finn. This thing did not attack Isolde. It did attack all the rest of you. Essentially, this is Nepenthe in its Dark Lord form, wielding itself.
Which is odd that I'm just going to cast Hunter's Sense on the creature.
Mhm.
And I would very much like to know whether the creature has any damage, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are.
Okay. It's got a bunch.
Yay.
It is resistant to cold, fire, lightning, and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. But most of you have magical attacks. But it is resistant to cold, fire, and lightning. It is immune to poison. It has no vulnerabilities.
And as I hear this in my mind, or however I receive it, I'm passing this on to everybody else. So that they are aware to not use any.
I will also say, you are aware it is very difficult to hurt with magic as well. It is quite a powerful foe.
Cool. Don't use magic. And with that being the
It is not
action-
immune to magic. It is resistant.
resistant. Yeah, but it's got to be some. Only use your most powerful of magics, which people can do. They want to do anyways. And with that, there it is. I also want to cast Hunter's Mark on it as a bonus action.
Yep.
And I feel like that's my turn.
Perfect. Are you going to move or are you going to stay put?
I'm just going to get closer to Finn, but also try to do so without provoking attacks of opportunity on either it or Isolde.
Perfect. Okay. You're getting in closer. And Tatiana.
The tiger stalks closer to its prey. This many armed being, incorporeal being. I could attack twice, or I could do something even sweeter, which is I would like to move 20 feet straight towards the thing and pounce on the arm most recently wielding the Nepenthe.
Perfect. Attack.
Now, for the pounce action, is the specific action that the tiger has. If it hits with the claw attack, then the target must succeed on DC 14 strength or be knocked prone.
Be knocked prone. Perfect.
Okay. But it's going to be a double claw attack.
Go for it.
Okay. Let's go. D20 times 2. I don't know how to do it. We'll do it once.
Yeah, just roll, because otherwise it'll give you advantage. It'll just take the highest. So just roll once and then roll the next one.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, they're both 22s.
More than enough to hit it twice. Although you don't feel anything fall under you. As your claws are hitting something, you're doing damage, but you don't feel it fall down. Actually, I take that back.
Did you do a strength saving throw?
I did, but I didn't do a second one. What's the number it needs to beat?
14.
It doesn't fall the first time, but it does fall the second time. Tatiana, you
and
see
if
the
it's
sword
not
kind of
prone,
clatters to the ground. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I also get a bite attack against it as a bonus action.
You do, and you have advantage because it's prone.
Yep. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So I still need to do damage for those first 2 claws, but let's go ahead and get the bite.
Yep.
Okay, this one's advantage.
Yep.
Another 16, so that's a 22 again for the bite.
Perfect. That is you can give me the damage for all 3 when you have it.
Okay, great.
As you grab this thing and you are ripping, again, it is like it's just ice and snow and things, but I mean, you're ripping and clawing pieces out of it, and the sword is on the ground while you're doing all of this. Perfect. Just give me the damage when you have it, because it was nothing else for Tatiana, right?
That's it for Tatiana. Let's see. Let's see.
Back around to the top.
Sorry, I just have to, at the start of Isolde's turn, because she's within 10 feet of my pet demon, has to make a con save.
Okay, what's the DC?
12.
I rolled poorly. She does not make the save.
So Isolde is now poisoned until the start of the next turn.
Perfect.
And that's 40 damage from the tiger.
4-0?
4-0.
Perfect. Yeah, you see, you are tearing big hunks out of whatever this is, Tatiana. Perfect. Tatiana, give me a charisma save.
Tigers are very charismatic, I should have you know.
Very charismatic tiger. Yes, that is true.
But according to this, the tiger gets a +0.
Well, actually, it's your charisma still. It's your mental stats.
Oh, okay.
Very charismatic.
Tatiana also has a +0. 17.
Hang on. Let's see. Let me check this. Unfortunately, that is not enough. You needed 18. You see, Isolde, while is fighting here, and turns over and sees what you're doing, and she just says, "Stop." And you all see, out of ice and snow, a prison, a force cage appears around Tatiana, and you are trapped inside. But she has her back to you now, Finn, because she turned to do that. And it is your turn.
Doesn't Ferran go before me?
Oh, sorry. Let me double check. I apologize. Yes, he does. Sorry.
Okay. Do you think Farhan will have noticed Fen trying to cast Eldritch Blast and failing? Like, he's got a very high Arcana. I don't know if there's such a thing as passive Arcana.
I mean, if nothing else, Finn, at any time would Finn have told him that Strahd was her patron? Do you feel like that's something that you would have revealed?
I think, well, he was scrying and such, and it was said aloud.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Then I will say Farhan would have put together at some point that that Strahd can't uphold his end of the deal anymore.
Okay, so I'm maintaining concentration on the stone skin I've got on Fen, obviously, but I will essentially shout out to Fen. It's like, Fen, I would like to formally extend an offer of patronage.
And Fen is like in the snow, bleeding.
Just say you accept. Say you accept. We'll take
All
this as
right.
a legally binding verbal contract.
Just send me terms and conditions later.
Oh yes. By having this conversation, you've already agreed to the terms and conditions. And so
That's
theoretically,
how warlocks are
Love
made.
it.
theoretically,
That's where little warlocks come from. You know?
as an archmage,
Mhm.
he is an archmage, and sort of semi.
For
even
a number of reasons, Farhan Zelhonen is capable of fulfilling this pact. In Finn, you do feel the power leap back to life in you.
Oh boy. In that case.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and say forming a warlock pact costs an action.
Oh, for Farhan or for
Yeah,
me?
for Farhan. Yeah, they'd be like,
yeah, I used my action to do that.
mm-hmm. It is your turn, Finn. Again,
Then
Isolde is still standing there, but she's turned her back to you as she is trapped Tatiana. And this demon thing is apparently still on her.
before I try this, is she susceptible to Mind Spike?
You know her to be strong-willed, but you have no reason to believe she would be immune.
Oh, never mind, because that means I just find her location. Then I'm calling my Shadow Blade and
Okay.
getting in an attack if I can.
You can. Actually, I think you have 2 attacks, don't you? Because it's a bonus
Yeah.
action to call the Shadow Blade. Yep.
It is, you're correct. So
What
I
level are
wanted
you
to-
casting it at?
Shadow Blade is 3rd level.
Perfect. It's going to be 3d8. But first, let's see if you hit her. Go ahead and attack.
All right, my other dice are in jail now.
Mm-hmm.
One is a nat 20, and what do I get? What do I add for a bonus on Shadow Blade?
Still, whatever your +2 attack with your normal sword is.
Then that is 19 on the other one. Well, one of them is a nat 20.
Perfect. No, that's 2 hits.
All right, then she gets 2d8 psychic damage on top of any other thing that I do. Oh, it's 3d8. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
the
sorry, Nathan.
sword itself is 3d8. Yeah, that's how it works. The Shadow Blade does 3d8 psychic damage.
Okay, so the first one is 15 damage, and this is psychic.
Okay.
And the next one is 14 psychic.
15 and 14. Okay. You see, as you slam into her, she does just go. You did always like to play rough, huh, Finn? And
I thought you liked that.
I'm loving it. And she is like very much not looking in Tatiana's direction anymore, although the cage is still intact. Perfect. Anything else from Finn?
No, because I don't think I can do anything.
Yeah, because it's bonus action and 2 attacks. That's pretty much it.
Is she immune to frighten?
Yeah.
Because in Form of Dread on each of my turn, I can force her to make a Wisdom saving throw.
What's the DC?
13.
She is not immune, but she does make that save.
Okay, then that is all for me.
Perfect. Nahara, it is your turn.
Okay.
Tatiana is trapped. Nepenthe is beat up, and Isolde and Finn are still actively doing battle.
Okay. First, I need to, because I took a hit, I need to roll concentration to keep my demon buddy.
Okay. You have to roll 2. You got hit twice.
Oh, in the same attack, so I got a roll. Okay, yeah.
2 separate
All right.
sources of damage.
Okay. So there's a 17 for the first one. Oh, wait, plus, what's my concentration? So 18.
The number you have to beat is 10 plus the amount of damage you took, correct?
Is that what I don't know.
You know, I've played this game a couple of times and I always mess that up. I'm pretty sure concentration is 10 plus the amount of damage you took, which you would need to beat 23.
Oh, yikes. Okay. So he is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, at least I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to fly 30 feet higher in the air to avoid any more arms.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got 3 Eldritch Blasts. I'm going to use towards Nepenthe.
Exactly.
Yep. So that is 24 for the first one to hit.
So because he's prone, you actually have disadvantage on these. Because he's prone and you're doing a ranged attack. Melee attacks get advantage, ranged attacks get disadvantage.
Because he's prone.
Because he's prone. You can still shoot at him, but it's going to be disadvantage. So that's a 24 and roll again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is a nat 20 for the second one.
Well, you've lost the nat 20.
But I lost the nat 20.
The lower roll is
Womp
the 24.
and also womp.
And additionally womp. That's
And
how
additionally
evil
womp.
he is. Yes. All right, but that is going to be 1 hit. Yes.
Okay. And that is 11 points for that hit.
Okay.
Which, since he took damage, he's going to have to make I don't know if he can be frightened.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you he cannot.
Okay.
Depends about that life.
All right. So second one with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is 16 to hit.
That is not enough.
Okay, third one.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 23 to hit.
That is enough.
And that is 10 points.
Oh, excellent. Perfect. Okay. All right. How many hit points does Finn have left? Asking for a friend?
Oh no. 67 if we don't count the 13 temp I get from Dread Form.
Oh, no, count that too. So 80 for essentially, right? Unless
Yeah.
or she already used the Dread Form temp points. Like she has 60. Have those been used?
You know what? Those have been used, so 67.
Perfect. Okay. Again.
Oh no.
And also still has
Stone
resistance.
skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What is
that's
it?
Stone skin is resistance to what kind of damage?
Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, like weapon attacks, basically.
Perfect.
Because I was resistant to those anyway and frightened.
Perfect.
Oh, well then I can't.
I'm
you
just
don't
really
think they stack.
resistant.
Are you resistant to like bludgeoning, piercing?
I have to see what it is. That may be a warlock thing.
Right.
No, that's Blood Hunter. But it's only when I'm in my hybrid form, not my dread form, so it doesn't count.
Got
Okay.
it. Perfect.
I'll maintain the spell.
You see Nepenthe rises up from the ground. Still this same swirling mass. And
Yes.
Isolde was useful when she was properly motivated. What you fear to lose most. And you see it charges at Desmond. Desmond, what's your AC currently?
15.
I have just enough 20s. Let's see.
That's a
15, you
problem.
say? You hear that?
I don't like hearing I have just enough 20s to shake that many die at once.
Good news is I rolled fairly poorly. The bad news is at least one of those is a natural 20. Okay.
Since
That's the good
Yes.
news?
You said, so what you said your AC was 15?
Yes.
All right, that is one miss. That is unfortunate. Oh, wait, hang on. That is going to be 2 misses.
B-Dave, can I take an
Yes.
opportunity attack? On this creature?
No. What would provoke it?
Turning away from me to attack Desmond.
Oh, it's just like a swirling. It's just like a cloud. Yeah. So unfortunately
Gotcha.
not. The good news is it misses twice. The bad news is it hits 5 times. And one of those is a natural 20. Desmond, to do this gentlemanly because I rolled a whole bunch of things at once. I know you got some mitigation. I need you to choose high or low. Even
That
or
whole
odd.
concept concerns me.
Choose even or odd. Even or odd.
Odd. And I feel like you expected me to choose odd, which makes me immediately concerned.
Unfortunately, the result was even. You're about to do something mitigation wise or something, I think, because you have.
I'm reading because I did
mark
mark it with like Hunter's Sense, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not misremembering because I feel like it might have just been a higher level thing than I was thinking of.
I don't think
Nope.
that is directly
not the
relevant
thing that
to
I was
what's
thinking
about to happen here.
I tried.
You did.
I had to attempt
You did.
to mitigate some damage.
Desmond, you take 82 points of damage.
And what does it?
You all see this explosion of just brutality against Desmond. And when the final blow is landed, his body doesn't fall. It lifts off the ground. And you can make out the outline of a hand made out of snow that is still holding him up there, as he clearly is unconscious and bleeding from his wounds. Finn, let it out. Let it go. And you see it rotates around to show you Desmond's face as it is holding him there. However, it is Valentine's turn. Valentine, you're aware this thing is grievously injured.
Is it still gripping onto Desmond currently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to entangle it. I'm going to attempt to incapacitate it with Ivard's black tentacles.
Perfect.
That is a dex save of 15.
All right, let me get all these dice out of the way.
So it'd be restrained.
I actually rolled very poorly. I rolled a 2.
I love this.
So it's true. The fate has been on your and only your side during this thing here. You do see the tentacles come up and the multiple arms start moving and trying to shift the sword away, but the tentacles do seem to be holding it in place. And
it also does
drop
just
Desmond.
an 11 points of damage.
Yeah, roll it. Okay. For what kind of damage, by the way, that is relevant?
That is an excellent question. It is...
If I had to guess, it's necrotic, but I don't know for certain.
It is not necrotic.
It's not necrotic.
What is that? Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning. Perfect. Excellent.
Good old-fashioned bludgeoning.
Excellent. Great.
Excellent. Now that it's dropped Desmond, I will fire a firebolt as a bonus action using my sorcery points to make it that.
Perfect.
All right. That is 24 to hit.
That is more than enough.
7. Great. That is 3d10s of fire damage.
Roll
it. 21 points of damage.
Valentine, it had 19 left. So you hurl this fireball and it shatters, and you hear a scream of rage echo all around you as the sword flips through the air and stabs back into the ground, and the whole ground shakes. But you see, as it starts yelling, as you're hearing this yelling, Isolde is yelling too. Standing there. It's like, Fine, I will end this. And she turns and starts walking towards Nepenthe the ground. Does anybody say anything?
Is the tiger still frozen?
Actually, the force cage would be dropped when by this. So the tiger would be able to get loose. Mm-hmm.
I beg her not to do it.
What exactly do you say?
Don't let it take your mind again.
She stops and she looks at you. And for a moment, the anger's gone. You see the eyes of the woman you love, that you know still loves you. And for the first time, a couple of tears form. We had an accord. A pact was made. I cannot escape it. Until our paths cross again, the carnival is mine. This is my burden.
Perhaps I can be of some assistance in that matter. Firanz Alhonen is going to cast Plane Shift.
Where do you want to take everyone?
The Feywild.
Let's go.
Hang on while I put my white dress on.
Quick change. You all see for a moment everything ripples violently as just you see Nepenthe is trying not to let you go, but in his current state he can't stop it. And there's a ripple and the ice and snow is replaced by warmth and greenery. And you all see yourself appear in the very familiar surroundings of the Witchlight Carnival. You smell warm, baked bread. You feel cooked meat. You hear laughing people and games. And Isolde stands there. And you notice Nepenthe is actually still driven into the ground there. Place. I remember this place. Oh! Them again! That terrible Valentine and Tatiana who robbed us! Yeah, I don't hope you guys come here to cause
see a
any more
tiger.
trouble. Oh yeah, I guess they do see a tiger, sorry.
I
Yeah.
do have one important question.
Yes.
Is Brother Uriah with us?
Uriah's not, Faranz Alhonen is.
I know, but if we did so during this
oh,
whole
it's
play,
physically-
did we leave behind
I leave that
Brother
up to you.
Uriah?
I leave that up to you guys. I mean,
I very much would be against that.
I assume Faran would have tried to keep him close. We established the tensor's floating disc is not
Yes.
concentration.
Okay.
So yes.
Yes, as he cast it, he just sort of put one of his feet back and sort of touched the coffin with it.
Let the hound jump
Yeah.
on the casket.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Important point of clarification there. You see Witch and Light come running out very frantically. Light in his red and white knave's outfit, Witch in his brown suit holding his pocket watch. You know how much trouble we had getting everything running again after you got... And they stop when they see Isolde. And Isolde looks at them. And all three of them are like, no.
Yes, and you should be bowing to Desmond.
Desmond's just on the ground, laid out.
I run over to Desmond.
Does someone have any healing abilities here? I'm afraid I'm more of a set things on fire sort of fellow.
Oh, I do.
Desmond, I think, could use a little medical attention.
Yes, that's right. So he could properly get up, so you could all properly bow to your witch-like monarch. So Nahara will cast Cure Wounds at 4th level.
Finn, you can give us in chat how much you heal as the breath restores to your lungs, Desmond. Finn, you know, Isolde told you many times that she sealed a pact. That she would take the carnival and they would take her carnival. They renamed it the Witchlight Carnival, but her Feywild Carnival. And each would run their establishments until their paths crossed again. Which is something she didn't want. And you all know from your interactions with Witch and Light, they didn't want it either.
I just kind of look at her from where I'm like leaning over Desmond. Your pact is fulfilled.
You all hear Nepenthe just growls. It is so low you feel it more than hear it. And Witch and Light turn and look at the sword. Oh dear. The pact is fulfilled, I suppose. And you see, Isolde looks at you, Finn, and she says, "It is. But there is one more thing that must be done." And she reaches out and she grabs the sword. And you see Nepenthe starts to glow brightly red. The people of the Witchlight Carnival slow down and start looking in the direction because the light is so alien here to the Feywild. And the light goes away. And you see Hildy and Eremos looking like you remember. You see everybody. You see Tyndall the Barker, Ollie the Were-Rat, Amelia the Vampire, Charlotte the Fire Eater, the Organ Grinder, and Celesta the Snake. All people you once knew standing there. Like,
Did Hildy just age down 5 years?
she didn't. She's still the same age. Eremos
Okay.
did. She did not.
Great.
But you see when she appears, she stands very still, like she's still invisible. So,
We can see you, Hildy.
Also, you didn't have to hold still when you were invisible.
I've never been invisible before, but it worked. You won. You won.
Did
Yes.
we, though?
Are we good? Yeah. Yeah. Like, smell all the sweet things. It's so warm. The sun is so big in the sky. Is that how it always is with the yellow and not the clouds and cold?
Kind of.
I revert to my Tatiana form. I think so. This is what it can be like.
You see.
I
Go ahead, Finn. Go ahead. Mhm.
and I was just going to approach Isolde.
She is still standing
Carefully.
there holding the sword, looking at it.
Isolde.
You did it. You saved me.
But at what cost?
She opens her hand and lets Nepenthe fall to the ground. And she says, "There was a pact. My place was there. Now my place is here."
If she lets me, I'll go to her and hug her.
Both of you are injured and bitten, and she very carefully hugs you back. You were here once before. You could find a way back, couldn't you?
Probably.
What am I supposed to do now? I
Live.
don't have them. I don't have you. I don't have rage. I don't have her to torment me anymore. Zabilda's gone. Who am I now?
You've got a long time to figure that out, and you still have me if you want me.
You all hear Nepenthe says out loud again, "No, she doesn't." And you all feel the cold come rushing back in again as you are standing back in the carnival. Just the six of you. Isolde and everyone else is gone, and Nepenthe is driven down into the ground with Witch and Light standing there.
Ah, Mr. Witch, Mr. Light, I presume.
Yes.
It looks like your property has been returned to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Except for the stuff that we stole. We lost that. Oh no,
They got some of their stuff back.
They got it back.
They turn and look at each other. Well, we could trap them here for all time. Yeah,
After
but-
what we've just done, I don't recommend trying it.
And it means we'd be trapped here with you. So if it's all the same to you. Witch reaches out and grabs Nepenthe, which glows and crackles. In the moment he touches it, his mouth opens and you hear Nepenthe's voice again. I'll have my revenge. I took your love from you. I don't take your life, because that would actually be a mercy. Get out. And you all feel pushed violently, physically, blown out of the edge of the carnival, back out into the ice in the woods of Lamortia. And that is a good place for us to stop.